Have you ever wondered if the creaks in an old house are more than just the house settling? When the wind howls and the floorboards groan, do you ever feel like something is listening, or maybe even speaking back? Sometimes the oldest homes hold secrets that linger long after the lights go out. What if those sounds aren't just the echoes of time but whispers, echoes of a story so dark it chills your blood? Imagine the walls themselves remembering every secret, every sorrow, and every scream. This is the story of Granny, not the fairy tale kind, but the kind that lingers in your nightmares. Once, she was a loving grandmother, the heart of her family. Her laughter filled the rooms, and her gentle hands baked cookies that made the whole house smell like home. But something twisted entered her life, a shadow that poisoned everything good. It crept in quietly like a sickness, until it was too late to turn back. The woman who baked cookies became a monster who stalks the halls. Her eyes, once warm, now glowed with a cold, unnatural light. Her story isn't just about a scary old lady, it's about love warped into a nightmare. It's about how grief can twist the soul, turning kindness into something unrecognizable. It began with a lullaby, not a scream, a gentle song meant to soothe, now echoing through empty rooms as a haunting reminder of what was lost. Imagine a home filled with warmth and laughter. That was Granny's world, until darkness found her. The light faded and shadows claimed every corner. A curse stole her granddaughter, leaving Granny alone with grief and rage. The nursery grew cold, and the toys gathered dust, untouched by little hands. Her transformation was slow, love replaced by madness. Each day, her sorrow deepened, until she became a stranger even to herself. The house remembers. If you listen, you might hear a child's laughter swallowed by silence. The echoes of happiness are now just memories, fading into the gloom. Granny's house is a prison, for you and for her. The doors are locked, not just by wood and iron but by sorrow and regret. She's trapped by memories, the curse, and the monster she's become. Every photograph is a window to a life she can never reclaim. Every creak is a cry for help twisted into a threat. The house groans with her pain, warning you to stay away yet begging for release. When you're running from her, remember, you're running through the ruins of a broken heart. Every shattered object is a piece of her lost love. The woman hunting you is a ghost of her former self, lost in sorrow and rage. She is both the hunter and the haunted, forever searching for what she cannot find. She patrols the halls searching for what she's lost, her family, her peace. She will never stop. The curse binds her to these walls, and her pain echoes through every room. The whispers in the walls are her story. They are the fragments of a life shattered by loss, a warning to all who enter. And now, you're part of it. The house has claimed you too, and its secrets will never let you go. Waking up in that dusty room, fear is your first companion. The air is thick with the scent of neglect, and every shadow seems to move with a life of its own. You feel the weight of the house pressing down as if it's aware of your presence, watching your every move. The house is a maze of locked doors and chilling silence. Each step you take echoes through the empty halls, amplifying your sense of isolation. The silence isn't peaceful, it's oppressive, broken only by the distant creak of floorboards or the faint whisper of something unseen. Your goal is escape, but the house itself tells a story. Every creak, every groan of the old wood is a fragment of a tragedy that unfolded within these walls. Look closer, a child's drawing, a lonely teddy bear, a cold crib. These aren't just objects, they're silent witnesses to heartbreak, each one holding a memory frozen in time. These are clues, not just props. They're pieces of a puzzle inviting you to piece together the sorrowful history of the family that once lived here. They're remnants of a shattered family. Every broken toy and faded photograph is a testament to love lost and innocence destroyed. Granny, the relentless hunter, wasn't always a monster. She was once a protector, a caretaker, someone who cherished laughter and warmth. She was made by tragedy, a curse that warped her soul. Grief twisted her love into something unrecognizable, turning her into the very thing she once feared. Before, she worried about scraped knees, not monsters in the halls. Her world was filled with bedtime stories and gentle lullabies, not nightmares and screams. The real monster was part of her family, casting a shadow over them all. The darkness that haunts this house began long before you arrived. The game drops hints, shotgun pieces, keys, but the real clues whisper of the past. Every item you find is a thread, leading you deeper into the house's secrets. The teddy bear belonged to Slendrina, Granny's lost granddaughter. It's more than a toy. It's a symbol of everything that was taken from her. It's a key to the mystery, connecting Granny's rage to her grief. Holding it, you can almost feel the sorrow that lingers in the air. She's not random, she's a grandmother broken by loss. Her pain is the engine that drives the horror, and her memories are the chains that bind her here. The house is her tomb, and she's its angry ghost. Every room is a cell, every hallway a reminder of what she's lost. Each day you try to escape, you see more of the nightmare. The house reveals new horrors, new memories, as if it wants you to understand its pain. The locks aren't just to keep you in, they keep memories locked inside. They're barriers against the past, but also against healing. Granny visits them over and over, trapped in mourning. She's a prisoner of her own sorrow, doomed to relive her loss for eternity. By escaping, you disturb her endless cycle of grief. Your presence is a threat, a reminder that the world outside still exists. The house is a monument to her pain. Every crumbling wall and shattered window is a testament to the tragedy that consumed her life. You're a reminder of the world she's lost. To her, you're not just an intruder, you're a symbol of everything she can never have again. And she'll do anything to keep it that way. In this house of unspeakable sadness, escape is more than survival. It's a confrontation with the very heart of grief itself. Granny's descent began with the birth of her granddaughter, Slendrina. In that moment, hope and dread mingled in the air, as if the world itself sensed something unnatural had arrived. The old house, once filled with laughter, seemed to hold its breath. Slendrina was no ordinary child. A shadow clung to her from birth. Even as a baby, her cries echoed with an eerie chill, and her eyes seemed to reflect secrets too old for any infant to know. That darkness had a name: Slenderman, her father. His presence was never seen but always felt, a silent watcher in the corners of every room. With his blood came a terrible curse, a legacy of fear and shadows that seeped into every corner of their lives. Slendrina was a bridge between worlds, haunted from the start. She existed in the thin space between nightmare and reality, never truly belonging to either. Granny saw only a perfect baby, promising to protect her from anything. She clung to hope, believing love could shield Slendrina from the darkness. But how do you protect someone from a curse in their veins? Granny's heart ached with questions she could never answer. As Slendrina grew, so did the darkness, moving toys, chilling whispers, unexplained cold. The house itself seemed to warp around her, bending to the will of something unseen. The family was confused, scared, desperate for answers. They watched helplessly as their home became a prison of fear. Slenderman's influence was constant, a monster in the shadows, always lurking, always waiting. Slendrina was torn between her family's love and her father's legacy. She felt the pull of both worlds, never able to escape either. She was haunted, struggling against a power she couldn't control. Night after night she fought to keep the darkness at bay, but it always returned. The curse was the first crack in the family's foundation, splintering trust and hope with every passing day. It poisoned their happiness, turning their home into a place of fear. Shadows grew longer, and warmth faded from every room. Granny's love was powerless against it. She watched, heartbroken, as the child she adored slipped further away. Helplessness curdled into rage, the rage you see in the game. It was born from love, twisted by despair. Slendrina's birth was the beginning of the end, a story of love, fear, and a curse that would haunt them all forever. The worst day of Granny's life was losing Slendrina. The details are lost, but the result was the same: silence and sorrow. Slendrina's spirit became trapped, bound to the house and her beloved objects. She became the ghostly figure haunting the halls. For Granny, this was the cruelest twist, her granddaughter gone yet always present. Granny's actions are driven by this loss. She traps and hunts you, desperate to protect Slendrina's resting place or to bring her back. The lore suggests Granny is searching for a way to break the curse. You're not just a victim, you're a piece of her desperate puzzle. Every trap, every patrol is a frantic attempt to control her world. The monster you see is animated by grief. Love's absence created a vacuum filled with madness. Granny is trapped in a loop, reliving her loss, and dragging others into it. Slenderman, a myth, a nightmare, but in Granny's world all too real. He is the architect of the family's destruction, Slendrina's father, and the source of the curse. His influence is psychological. He doesn't break down doors, he breaks minds. The curse marks Slendrina and Granny, dragging them into his realm of terror. Slenderman's motives are unknowable. Perhaps he spreads fear for its own sake. He dismantled a happy family, turning them into monsters and ghosts. Granny's love twisted into madness under his shadow. The curse ensures Slendrina is never free, even in death. Granny's frantic attempts to break the curse are part of Slenderman's cruel design. He feeds on their despair, growing stronger as they struggle. The family's suffering is his legacy. Granny is not just fighting grief, she's fighting a supernatural force she can't defeat. Slenderman is the silent villain who always wins. In this house, his curse is inescapable. To understand Granny's story, you have to look beyond one game. The world connects to the Slendrina series, prequels and side stories that fill in the family's tragic history. Each game reveals more about the curse and their suffering. We learn Slendrina's mother, Angeline, also fell victim to darkness. The lore is pieced together from diaries, notes, and ghostly apparitions. Slendrina was once imprisoned in a book. Her mother tried to fight the darkness and lost. Even Slendrina's child is haunted, the curse passing to another generation. Fan theories suggest Granny's experiments are attempts to bring Slendrina back. The house's traps may keep out other supernatural threats. The games challenge us to piece together this broken family's past. The real horror isn't the jump scare, it's the inescapable generational tragedy. Every monster is a victim of the same curse. It's easy to see Granny as just another monster, but look deeper. She's a tragic figure, rooted in love, twisted by loss. Like Frankenstein's monster or Dracula, her horror comes from profound emotion. Her love for Slendrina was her defining trait. When that love was corrupted, it became obsessive and violent. Granny is love gone wrong, a warning of what grief can do. Her house is a reflection of her broken mind. She hunts not just for you, but for a past she can't reclaim. She's a prisoner of her own heart. The game becomes a meditation on grief and loss. Granny is a symbol of what happens when pain is left to fester. We fear her, but we also pity her. She's a victim as much as a villain. So, what is Granny? Villain or victim? She exists in the gray between good and evil, tragedy and monstrosity. Her actions are villainous. She hunts, traps, and shows no mercy. From the player's view, she's the antagonist. But every act is a twisted echo of protection. She locks doors to keep memories safe, patrols halls searching for what she's lost. Her violence is pain lashing out. She's a victim of Slenderman's curse and her own grief. She didn't choose this path, it was forced on her. Her villainy is a symptom of her suffering. Granny is a paradox, a monster made of sorrow, a killer born from love. She's a puppet of tragedy, yet her hands swing the bat. She's both victim and villain, a terrifying contradiction. In the end, Granny's story is a dark fairy tale, a love stronger than death, but not strong enough to break a curse. The house is a tombstone for a family destroyed from within. The true horror is the hopelessness of their cycle. Next time you hide from Granny, remember the grandmother she once was. Slendrina is not just a ghost, but a lost child. The game becomes a journey into family tragedy. Behind every monster is a story of pain. The line between victim and villain blurs in the shadows. When you look into Granny's eyes, what do you see? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of Granny's story? Was she a victim, a villain, or both? Comment your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more creepy stories every week.